Hey guys, it's Mark from Migraine Professional, and so today I really want to bring you a simple way of understanding migraines, a simple way of dealing with migraines, and how we should be kind of understanding migraines as a whole. So basically to do that, I'm going to use a cup. So around the edge here, you have your threshold. If you leak over, you trigger. Around the bottom here, you have your foundations, your systems of your body that are constantly trying to repair, constantly trying to fix themselves, constantly trying to reduce levels of stress in the body. And so what we really want to understand is that migraine can be understood through a theory called a bunch of different names, but it falls under weather balloon theory or bathtub theory or bucket theory, or for today we're going to call it cup theory. They're all kind of the same, but I developed cup theory about a year and a half ago to kind of make the understanding more functional. Because in regular bucket theory, what we understand is that our bucket fills up, when it overflows, we trigger. But that's not really a functional understanding because our body is constantly employing a bunch of different systems to reduce the stresses on our body. So what we want to do is we want to understand it from a functional perspective where our body can be supported to better cope with stresses. And so in this, I'm going to do the demonstration and you'll kind of start to understand what's going on here. So the water is your stresses, your triggers, whether that be a dairy sensitivity or a hormonal issues or some weather patterns that don't agree with you, whatever that be, whatever those stresses are for you, coffee, chocolate, loud noises, things like that, whatever those are for you, those are the water going into the cup. And so what you want to understand is that when the amount of triggers and stresses that are in your body as a whole, reach the top. And the top is your threshold. Once they reach your threshold, you get a migraine. So your body says no, it cuts you off, it triggers the migraine to speed up all its healing processes, to increase its growth factors, and to bring a lot more blood and oxygen and resources to the brain to repair all this damage that all the stresses and triggers are doing. But what we want to understand is that we have this little hole at the bottom of this cup, and this is all of our sort of foundational systems, our foundational principles that are constantly reducing stresses, constantly reducing triggers, and constantly helping our body deal with all of the stresses that are going on, whether that be mental or emotional or physical or dietary or chemical or electromagnetic, whatever they are, it's helping you deal with those. And so our foundational principles are those simple things that our body absolutely needs to function properly. So things like positive social patterns, like proper mental patterns of thinking and positive thinking, and making sure that we don't have trauma, and then the emotional side of making sure that we're dealing with our emotions and we're not letting them stay inside of us, making sure that we're eating a proper diet that's balancing our body, providing our brain with enough nutrients, balancing our blood sugar, balancing our blood pressure, things like that. Then our hydration levels, making sure that we can get hydration into the cells. So that involves making sure that we have enough minerals to hydrate the cells, because water always follows salt. It's like a rule of chemistry. And then movement, making sure that we're getting enough movement so that our body can pump and it can detoxify, making sure that we're getting foods that promote sort of the elimination of waste through our bowels, through our kidneys, through our liver, which uses many sulfur compounds for detoxification, and in sleep. We also make sure that we covet our sleep, and we really try and get as good of a quality sleep as we can get. So between those three, the stresses that are coming in, the threshold level that it's kind of based on, it's genetic, it's epigenetic, it's exposomal. So it's based on a bunch of different factors, and different people will have a bigger cup, some will have a smaller cup. So it depends. It depends on you. But you really want to focus on reducing your triggers and increasing your body's ability to deal with the stresses that are going on. And that involves dealing with the foundational principles, the things we talk about in our articles, nutritional and lifestyle and supplemental. Those make sure that your body can deal with stress. Our body's not dealing with the stresses and they build up. Our body can't remove waste out of our neurons. It can't bring nutrients in. It can't deal with neuroinflammation. It can't deal with the oxidation. It can't deal with all the excess glutamate. Our brain cells get excited and then they get fatigued. Once they get fatigued, we trigger that whole reaction of migraines and auras and predromes and postdromes and the whole kind of spectrum of migraine. And so let me know, what do you think